demonstrating the shift in focus on the front line. In previous iterations of this day of showcasing for the press what a Herrick deployment would be likely to embody, a wounded soldier would be scooped off the battlefield. Today, it's about picking up kit and dismantling 12 years of British establishments in Afghanistan. Essential to that effort is the work of the Royal Electrical and Mechanical Engineers.
In a way, it'll be a lot more secure, which I'm quite happy with, but it will be a completely different tour altogether for me. So I'm looking forward to it, a new experience, getting out there and getting the job done and getting home.
But possibly not home as quickly as you might have done on other tours?
No, definitely not. But I think because the amount of work we're going to have out there, it's going to go quite quickly as it is.
Stretching from September to next June, Herrick 19's a tour and a half. The new task force commander starts with a contingent numbering 6,000, but expects that figure to reduce to 5,200 by the end of the year. He told me he won't keep people in theatre any longer than they need to be there.
The Afghans are able to pick up this, the load on delivering security to their own people. The current guys have been able to make some significant changes, being able to close bases which we just don't need anymore, and that will allow me to deploy with less people than are currently there. And I fully expect that during my time that I will be able to close a number of the other bases because operationally they just won't be needed, and that will allow me to reshape and resize the force and get people back to their families.
This will be the third time 4 SCOTS has flown its flag in Helmand. This tour they'll form a new manoeuvre battle group.
You'll also be the call-out force to help protect convoys and closures happening, kit being transported back to Bastion. You'll go out and protect that.
Yeah, Julie, that's absolutely right, absolutely exactly. And so we will be there, we will liaise with the engineers, with the CLSR, and we'll be there to help protect them as they do the vital job of taking our kit and equipment from the bases outside Helmand back to Bastion.
More than any other tour before it, Herrick 19 is going to focus on the removal of equipment from Afghanistan. But that doesn't mean that new kit isn't still being sent out too, like the Chinook Mark IV. Effectively, it's very similar to a Mark II, but there are better displays in the cockpit to ensure the crew can make better use of assets like the Titan turret camera.
It's going to be a vast improvement for us, really, particularly for the short notice tasking that we often get when we're acting with the MERT. To be able to punch in a grid, fly directly to it, see exactly what's around that grid, what's on the ground, and to know exactly what's around us as we go into that grid will be a vast improvement on what we had before, which was effectively a compass bearing and a distance to the grid, and you had to kind of work the rest out in your head, really.
A key message for the new deployment is that the British will assist the Afghan National Security Forces only when required. Everyone agrees they've come on a long way, but have they come far enough?
And it really is heartening, and I do say this hand on heart, to see, how good they are. In Helmand now, 90% of, Helmandis support the Afghan Uniform Police. I suspect the Met would be quite happy with those figures.
The Desert Rats return to Germany next week, then begin their staged arrivals in Afghanistan over the next month. Julie Knox, Forces News, Salisbury Plain.